how can we track the plastic that comes from the different countries?
Even for countries like Australia or Europe, it's very difficult to manage our waste. Even if we sort the waste and we try to recycle, sometimes we send that to overseas countries. So I think we all contribute to this. On a more practical point of view, when there is a large debris at sea, very often, on the debris, you can find the label. And on the label, you can usually see the language and sometimes the country. So that's one way to identify where they come from. And sometimes we can be very surprised because we can see debris in Indonesia, for instance, and we see that the bottle is coming from France. It's a global problem, which is bad, but also good, because that is to say that we have also the power to do something.
In Australia, we don't have a place to deal with all this plastic, obviously, and we send it overseas, like you were saying. And we have to stop this now because obviously it's going to affect the entire world. Do you think that when we send it overseas, it adds to the problem of the ocean plastics?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. If we send these wastes to overseas countries without checking that they have the capability to treat the waste. In fact, they don't. They just dump the waste in the countryside. And very often the dump site is close to a river. So when it's raining, the wastes are just drained to the sea and to the ocean. If Australia is sending waste to Indonesia because of the currents and the oceanic currents, they come back to the Australian coast, which is somewhat funny.
But it's kind of always a reminder for us that, where we send it, always it's going to come back, no matter where we go. How will you guys be able to hold every country accountable for their ocean pollution?
This is not in our mission. We are accredited member of the United Nations, and the United Nations, they work on this issue. And in the United Nations, you have representatives of all countries on a political point of view.
Is this project in particular an international collaboration?
Of course, we have mainly a French team right now, but we are just in the process to hire people overseas, for instance, in Indonesia. We have a scientific council, advisory board, and there are scientists coming from all the countries. So there is one representative from Australia, Denise Ardesti. It's really a collaborative approach.
I think it's a really good project, and it's something that I think a lot of people have talked about doing something similar to it for a long time. It's so good that somebody is finally getting out there and doing something about it.